Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Obviously, it's been a minute. I'm tapping on this rock. It's been a minute. I apologize for that. I was insanely busy with this job, which, from the title, you can tell I no longer have. I was laid off. I was not fired. I was laid off. Which is disappointing, but it wasn't expected. I took the job kind of knowing it was likely I would be laid off. And then, of course, it happened. But yeah, I guess let's get into it. So, I had this job where I was insanely busy, where I was working 55 to 65, sometimes 70 hours a week, and it was a lot. So, sadly, I did not have time to make ASMR videos. I didn't even have time for myself. So, sorry about that. And this job, I was traveling every week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes even 3 times a week. So I was pretty busy. The upside of it is I got to see, obviously I got some really cool work experience. It was a great time. But I also got to see a large part of the United States that I had not previously seen. I got to see a large part of the United States that I had not previously seen. So that was really fun. And then, like some places I got to go to, I had never really been to. New York City for one. I had been to New York City previously, but it was just for like a vacation. But the month of September, I was in New York City, like the Manhattan proper area for like downtown Manhattan. Every Monday and Tuesday of that month, I would take like the train up, would stay, do the work thing I had to do, and then come back. I moved to Washington D.C. for this job, so it was only like about a 3.5 hour train ride. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say who or what I worked for. I feel like if I did, obviously it would give a lot more context. But that's just not something I want to share online right now. But yeah, like I was in New York a lot. I was in Boston a fair amount. I went to Miami, Fire Island, Martha's Vineyard, Los Angeles, San Francisco, the other parts of the Bay Area, Chicago, New Jersey, you name it. I was all over the United States. And it was really cool. Because I was traveling so much, I was basically on a plane every week. So I did build my Delta Sky Mile status. Did achieve that one, so hooray. But traveling for work is really fun until it's not. Honestly, it's really only fun like the first 2 times, and then it just gets really draining. I spent a lot of my time at airports. There's this one trip where I flew from DC to Boston with 2 of my bosses, and then we drove from Boston to Martha's Vineyard. Obviously took the ferry, stayed there for a couple of days, did our work event. The next day, the 3 of us then drove to Newport, Rhode Island, like another vacation town. Stayed there overnight, worked our event, and then the next day drove to the airport. Drove to the Boston airport. Where then what did we do? Next day I had an early morning flight from Boston to Chicago, where then I was in Chicago for a whole week. So there was a 2-week period where I wasn't home at all, and I was living out of hotel rooms and my suitcase. And the only thing I brought with me on that trip was like a carry-on size suitcase. Like I didn't check a bag, because I kind of hate checking a bag. So like I did not check my bag. And then but I was able to fit enough clothes in there, like I didn't have to do laundry, which was nice. But yeah, basically I was working a lot, and I really had no semblance of a personal life at all. Like, there was a week in September in general. September in general was just a rough month for me, just because of how busy I was. Things were just really, really ramping up, and I had only been on that role for like about maybe 2 months at that point. So it was definitely something where like I was a little overwhelmed. Yeah, like there was one time where I went to my friend's apartment to watch a football game, and I had to bring my laptop there because I had, work to do. And I was like, oh, it shouldn't take me too long. It took me the entire time I was there. My friends left to go to the bar, and I was still at the apartment working on my memo. And I didn't finish that memo until 1 a.m. because they were adding so much to it. So next I have this super lemon room spritz with lemon myrtle and spearmint oils from Trader Joe's. It's just like a room spray, but I really enjoy how it smells. It's very like clean. Do they have Trader Joe's outside the United States? I apologize if you can hear a dog barking in the background. But I have this. It smells very nice. I'll give a nice spray away from the microphone. But yeah, like, do they have Trader Joe's outside the U.S.? I love it. Obviously I know it's owned by Aldi. But like, I don't remember if it's owned by Aldi Nord or Aldi Sud. But I love Trader Joe's. Not sponsored. But yeah, I took that job knowing I was going to be laid off. And they'd given us notice saying like, your role is going to be eliminated. So when I finally got that, like the actual notice that I was being laid off, I wasn't surprised. But yeah, so I moved back home. Okay, next, while we're on the topic of DC and jobs, I have this White House garden tour brochure. So I think twice a year, the White House, like where the President of the United States lives, they open their grounds, and you can like walk through their gardens. And so I was able to get tickets, and what they do is they have you go in through, I think it's here. You enter through the side entrance. You walk up, you look at all like the commemorative trees they have for you to look through the gardens. They have like a live band playing here, and you'll get to walk down and through. They have like a pathway that goes through here to the other garden. It's just like you just tour the grounds, so it was really cool. But I guess the day before we had went, let me see if I can find a picture. Okay, I can't, but we'll use this one. So like the live band was playing here, like you walk up and there's like a driveway here. And I guess the day before, like, some people hadn't bothered to look up. And then they did, and I guess like the President of the United States was just sitting outside, and he was just sitting there and just like watching everyone. I guess it was like, kind of cool. Like some people got to wave to him, which is a pretty cool experience, regardless of like your feelings on politics. But yeah, living in DC was really fun. I feel like I didn't get to explore as much of it as I would have liked because I was traveling so much. Like, of course I went to the museums when I could, but like the museums are only open till 5 p.m. on weekdays, and I would typically, I would work till 6, but like typically I had to stay a lot later, and so I would be probably working till like 7, 8, or 9. Actually, there are a lot of times where my day ended at like 9 p.m. A couple times where it ended at 1 a.m. Not fun. Yeah, like I was saying, like that one time where September, where I was at my friend's apartment, where I got back to my apartment at my place, and I just kept writing, and I didn't finish writing until 1 a.m. and then I had to get up early the next morning for my flight to New York. But yeah. And so I would be like, okay, work's over, like let me go down to the museum. That wasn't really an option for me. The only other option was like on the weekends, but most of the time I was working or traveling on the weekends, so I didn't really get to be as much of a tourist as I would have liked. But I feel like the stuff I did get to see was really cool. But yeah, like I said, like I knew, like being unemployed right now is not really fun. I feel like if I were to say like what industry I worked in, it would provide a lot more context, but I don't want to say who or what I worked for. And I'm sure some people can probably guess it, but I'm not going to say. Yeah, obviously it was a great experience, and but being unemployed right now just kind of is not great. Like the job market itself isn't too amazing, and then for my industry, for like what I have experience in, it's kind of niche. So, and my degree itself is like, I personally think it applies to a lot, but I think a lot of people think it's pretty niche. So, yeah. There's some facts in here. Oh, history of the White House garden tour. These are all long. I don't really feel like reading these. You can find this PDF of this online. Okay. Next up, I have this book called The Talented Mr. Ripley. This was gifted to me by one of my best friends. We actually did film an ASMR video together, but I went to go edit it, and the quality was just not the best, like both audio and video wise. So unfortunately, it's scrapped. That it will be another video that does not see the light of day. But I am determined to get her on the channel again, or to get her on the channel at some point. Not even again, because she hasn't made the channel. But I'm determined to film another video with her again sometime. But yeah, one of the downsides of working so much was I didn't have much time for any hobbies or passions that I had. So like I brought this book with me to DC thinking, oh, I'll have some time to read. No, usually I would get home from work and I would just be exhausted. And I would just go straight to bed. Like half the time I wouldn't even eat dinner. Like I would just go straight to bed, straight to sleep. And then, yeah, it was just, so I didn't have much time, but now I do have more time, and I am hoping to get back into reading. I'm hoping to get back into making ASMR videos. So if you have any ideas or like preferences on what content you want to see, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'll take those into consideration. I did remove a lot of my older videos, so I am kind of excited to get the chance to rebuild my channel a little bit. I'll probably film another video later tonight. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end it here. Just, yeah, thank you for watching, if you're still watching. And yeah, talk to y'all soon.